Is it okay to be depressed and still love Jesus? This is kind of like a tricky one to speak about, but the general answer is yes, it is okay to be depressed and still love Jesus. Because what it is that we all go through situations in our life. I know depression is like deep sadness and things, overwhelming sadness and things like that. I understand. But what we need to understand, okay, I understand, but what we need to understand is that are we moving from the place of depression into the deeper things of God? Are we moving out of depression into God's love? See, for example, we had Job. Job was hit with depression because he lost all of his family, he lost his wealth, his goods, and his body was racked with sickness and disease, right? So he was in that place. That's the whole conversation you read in the book of Job. Same with Elijah. Elijah was in a place of depression when what's her name? Jezebel wanted to kill her. Wanted to kill him, and he was all alone, and he was in the wilderness, and he even said to God, he said, Lord, take my life. Even with David had depression. David was being chased by Saul, being persecuted by Saul, and his son died. His first son with Bathsheba, died. Creating me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. I think it's Psalms 50 or 51. That was written at the time when his son with Bathsheba was dying. Okay, so he went through a massive parts or times of depression and sorrow and sadness. But the thing is, are you moving away from that into the love of God? Because you can't be depressed and stay there, and that's where you live. That's your go-to. Whenever I'm going through a situation or things don't work out, my go-to place is depression. No, your go-to place should be the joy of God, the joy of the Lord. It's the same with people who may be struggling with certain fleshly desires. I don't know, fornication, anger, drunkenness, sorcery, drug addiction. They're going through that as believers. They love the Lord, but they're struggling with these situations. Is it okay to struggle and be with the Lord? Yes. But are you taking steps to get out of that place of addiction, get out of that place of those sexual sins? Are you making your way back to God? Or are you just sitting there and don't want to change? Woe is me. And you've decided to set up a tent and stay there and camp in that place. That's when it's wrong. Okay. So is it wrong? Is it bad to be depressed and still love the Lord, still love Jesus? No, it's not. But as long as you're making roads to healing, making roads to grab onto the Saviour and to grab onto the hem of his garment so that virtue can come from him to your life and you could be delivered and changed. That's what we're supposed to be doing. So don't sit in depression and anxiety and suicidal thoughts. Let's move away from that and start moving towards the Saviour to receive the deliverance and help that we need.